A very good morning to everyone. I am BALAAIHUN SOHLANG, a second year student at Central University of Tamil Nadu. As Fatima had already discussed the role of bacteria in bioremediation, so today I'll discuss how the fungi and algae play a crucial role in cleaning the environment by breaking down into harmless forms such as carbon dioxide, water, and mineral, a process known as bioremediation. So coming to the introduction. So pollutant like oil spill, hydrocarbon, heavy metal, and pesticide, they cause harm to the ecosystem. So microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi, so they break down organic matter into carbon dioxide, water, and mineral. So the role of fungi in bioremediation. So fungi is a powerful decomposer. So they secrete hydrolytic enzyme which degrade protein, lipids, and polysaccharide. So they can break down complex organic compound, okay, which is hard to degrade by the bacteria. So fungi, they act as a major decomposer in soil terrestrial ecosystem. So whereas bacteria, they dominate in marine ecosystem. So bioremediation process. So pollutant from industries and agriculture, so they threaten the ecosystem. So luckily we have microbes, okay, such as bacteria, fungi, and algae, which can break down these pollutants into harmless forms such as carbon dioxide, water, and mineral. So microbial breakdown of hydrocarbon into non-toxic product. So microbe uses hydrocarbon as a carbon source. So metabolism is through glycolysis and TCL cycle. So they produce energy in the form of ATP and microbial biomass. So the end product is carbon dioxide, water, and protein. So next is a factor affecting degradation. So the first one is oxygen availability. So microbes, they need oxygen for metabolism like aerobic organism. So the second one is nutrients. So nitrogen and phosphorus, they will enhance the growth of organism. And temperature. Optimal temperature, they will improve enzyme activity and microbial growth. So the fourth one is pollutant type. Okay, example like alkene, they can degrade faster than benzene or toluene. So next is bioremediation of polluted environment. So use of microbe to degrade or detoxify pollutant. So they are of different types. So the first one we have is natural attenuation, meaning indigenous microbe naturally degrade pollutant. So the second one is bioaugmentation, by adding microbe that specialize in degrading pollutant. And the third one is biostimulation. So by adding nutrient like nitrogen and phosphorus, okay, so they will enhance the microbial growth or the microbial activity. So the advantages, so they are eco-friendly and cost-effective. So it helps to preserve soil structure. So it can be performed in situ. That means in that original places. So example like Exxon Valdez oil spill in 1989. So it is a fertilizer-based bioremediation which speed up oil degradation. So next is mechanism of fungal biodegradation. So fungi is a powerful decomposer. So they secrete extracellular enzyme. So enzyme like oxidase hydrocarbon which break complex pollutant into simpler compound. So simpler compounds are assimilated into fungal metabolism which result in growth and energy production. So the enzymatic example are lactases, so they will oxidize phenolic and non-phenolic compound. Then peroxidases, they will break aromatic ring in polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon. And oxygenase, so they will add oxygen into hydrocarbon from alcoholic compound. So next is fungal mediated remediation. So fungi, they can degrade complex hydrocarbon and high molecular weight polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon. So they produce enzymes like lactases, peroxidase, and oxygenase which break aromatic ring. So fungi, they can grow on cheap substrate like agricultural or forestry waste. So different fungi, okay, so they can break down, okay, different pollutant. So example like polyporous species, okay, so they can remove nearly all the crude oil in contaminated area. And fusarium hypocrisy, so they can degrade pyrene, okay, by absorbing heavy metal. So next is bioremediation in oil spill. So in marine oil spill, oxygen and nutrient is limited. So by adding fertilizer into pollutant, so they can degrade into harmless forms such as carbon dioxide, water, and mineral, resulting in increased oil degrading microbial population, resulting in faster degradation. So degradation pathway. So in this pathway, so bacteria start by using dioxygenase enzyme, okay, by adding oxygen into hydrocarbon, which break down to small compound called as cis-diol and then converted into catechol, which enter into the TCA cycle, resulting in carbon dioxide and water. So fungi uses monooxygenase or lacase enzyme, okay, by adding oxygen into pollutant, which is converted into simple compound or intermediate, and further oxidized, okay, into simple or non-toxic compounds such as carbon dioxide, water, and mineral. So the outcome is safe and efficient, and it is eco-friendly. Okay. So the second part is role of algae in bioremediation of organic pollutant. So algae, they don't just photosynthesize. Instead, they work along with bacteria, okay, to degrade or break down pollutant. So first is uh, they will observe and accumulate the organic pollutant such as hydrocarbon, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon, and pesticide. So they transform toxic compound enzymatically and they work along with bacteria like Courtshire. So biosurfactant increases pollutant bioavailability. So genetically engineered enhanced degradation capacity. So next is type of pollutant targeted. So algae uses several strategies. So they trap, store, and alter pollutant by reducing their toxicity. So the first one we have is hydrocarbon, such as algae and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon. Okay, so algae can break them, okay, because they are lyophilic, so they attract fat and need oxygen and nitrogen to work efficiently. And the second one is polychlorinated biphenyl, such as arochlor. So they will accumulate in the lipid layer in algal cell and they need specialized enzyme to work. So the third one is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon such as phenanthrene and fluoranthrene. So they are hydrophobic complex. Okay, so they are oxidized by algae and bacteria. So the fourth one is explosive such as TNT. So algae they partially reduce, okay, into simpler compound such as amino nitrotoluene and pesticide including herbicide and fungicide. So they will observe and partially degraded by algal. So next is algal mechanism. So the first one is absorption. So they will bind to hydrophobic compound. So the second one is bioaccumulation. So pollutant they are stored in algal lipid. And the third one is enzymatic biotransformation. So oxygenase enzyme, reductase, and glucosyltransferase, okay, they will transform pollutant. And the fourth one is algal bacterial consortia. So algae provide oxygen, whereas bacteria they will degrade the complex compound. So the fifth one is biosurfactant production. So it will improve the pollutant solubility. So the sixth one is genetic approaches. So it will enhance the degradation through catabolic genes. So next is algae use in bioremediation. So the first one we have is Cynidesmus obliquus GH2. So it is very effective in treating crude oil. So work with microalgae and bacterial consortium. So next is Chlorella sorokinana combined with Pseudomonas microlae. So they degrade phenanthrene, okay, and this happen in photosynthetic home metabolism. And the third one is Chlamydomonas reinhardti. So they will target herbicide, okay, uh, by observing and degradation. So the fourth one is monoraphidium browni, okay, such as biphenyl, okay. So these are present, okay, in plastic. So they can be converted by bioconservation and sequestration. So next is pollutant fade outcome. So the first one we have is complete mineralization. So the pollutant is completely broken down into carbon dioxide, water, and harmless mineral. So algae, they use this enzyme to add oxygen into pollutant, okay, and slowly degraded it. So this is the best result because the pollutant are fully removed. Example like Chlorella sorokiniana with Pseudomonas bacteria, they can fully break down phenanthrene. So the second part is partial transformation into polar compound. So the pollutant is changed into another form that is less toxic and more soluble in water, but not fully destroyed. So algae, they change the pollutant by using enzyme, okay, by adding oxygen, nitrogen, or sugar group. So algae, they convert TNT into a simpler compound like amino dinitrotoluene, okay, which is less harmful. So example like Chlamydomonas reinhardti, they can transform some herbicide into safe compound. So the third one is sequestration in algal biomass. So the pollutant is trapped inside algal cell or they will stick to their surface. So it often collect in lipid parts of the cell. So the algae act like a sponge and hold the pollutant. Example like Cinedesmus and Chlorella, they will store polycyclic biphenyl and hydrocarbon in the cell. So these algae, they can be harvested and removed, okay, to clean the water. So the fourth one is bioaccumulation and food chain transfer. So sometimes pollutants stored in algae move into animals that eat them like fish or zooplankton. So this can spread the pollutant through food chain. Okay, so from fish, okay, into human. So example like polychlorinated biphenyl and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon. So they taken up by algae and can pass, okay, to fish and then to human. So that's why polluted algae must be removed after cleanup. So the factor affecting bioremediation. So the first one is bioavailability. So it determines pollutant uptake and degradation efficiently. Then nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus, they support growth and enhance enzyme production. Then the third one is oxygen or redox, okay, so which is essential for aerobic degradation. So light drive photosynthetic and oxygen supply. Then temperature affect enzyme activity and growth rate. Then pH, okay, so it influences the metabolism and pollutant stability and pollutant concentration. So high level can be toxic. So algae species, so different species equal to different abilities. Okay, so different algae, they have specialized to break down different pollutant. So bacteria present, so increases overall degradation and physical conditions. So aeration and mixing improve contact and growth. So the challenges and future direction. Okay, so some pollutant like polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon and polychlorinated biphenyl. Okay, so they are very hard to degrade. Okay, so it's very difficult to degrade these, okay, compound. So high pollinated level can be toxic to algae. So like light temperature, nutrient, okay, they will limit, okay, and reduce efficiency, so it is difficult to maintain in lab condition. Okay, so polluted algae biomass must be safely removed. Okay, so some algae lack necessary degradation enzyme, so users of genetically modified algae faces legal restriction and large scale system, okay, are costly to run. So these are the references. Thank you.